Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sparring Sessions podcast. My name's Dex, and yes, we are here today to break down UFC 316, from a betting perspective. Now, that's not my usual intro, but we had to poke a little fun at the co-hosts today. UFC Genie, how you doing today, Genie?
I'm pretty good, man. I've got to do better than last week. It was one of the worst weeks of betting ever. Not just for me, for everyone, pretty much. It was a terrible card, but yeah, I can't wait to get into this one, man.
Yeah, well, let's before we get into the UFC 316 this week, we do have to take a journey back and recap last week. I will start us off on a positive note. Technically, the Sparring Sessions parlay hit for the first time in 7 or 8 tries, something like that. We had Zachary Reese, Jordan Levitt, and Aaron Blanchfield. Despite going to decision, which upset a lot of our picks, Zachary Reese did win. Jordan Levitt did win very convincingly, and then Aaron Blanchfield. I got the feeling with everything that was going on, she probably would have won. So I'm counting it as the win, even though it turned out being ended up as a 2-leg. I believe if we had used the odds from the original, like when we did record the episode, it would have been around a minus 102 parlay. So still counts, even though one of the legs got voided. I'll go into my recap. I had Chase on minus 118, did not hit. Reese Todorovic under 1.5 at minus 200 did not hit. Blanchfield Goff did not hit. Blanchfield voided and Goff got choked out. Fieldho plus 135 did not hit. Lopez plus 160 did not hit. Even though I ended up turning that into Lopez plus 3.5 later in the week, still didn't hit. He got knocked out in round 1. Genie, you did about the same as me. Let's hear it.
So, I was pretty big on Zachary Reese, man. He didn't get it done. He didn't do what I thought he was going to do. I had him in the first round. No. He did not hit. Gustafsson, that fight didn't even happen. So, no. At least I didn't lose that one. Billy Ray Goff by points. That was that was in hindsight a pretty terrible pick, if I'm being honest. He got choked out really fast.
Yeah.
Jafel Filo, unfortunately, he did not get it done. He was doing pretty good, and then Nascimento would, Filo would fuck up a position, and Nascimento would be able to just hold on to it for the rest of the round and win a round off of that.
Yeah. It was a lot of... I was talking with my jiu-jitsu coach about it, actually. It was whenever he went for the back, he just kind of either fell off or... It's been... Jack Swag's been talking about this for a while. Taking the back is one of the harder things to do in MMA, and it's how, people are so good at it, good at defending it, that it's just not what it's cracked up to be anymore. So, I don't know. I got some studying to do on that fight. That one interested me, but please continue with your last one.
And I Jordan Levitt by points. I thought I was doing something good, but I should have done the submission. The number for a submission was pretty cheeky. And he got that. He made it look effortless, man. He made it look absolutely effortless. 2 minutes, he just ragdolls Kurt Hollabaugh around, chokes him unconscious, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I had him by submission in my thought about last week, my value plays. But, we live and we learn. And let's not spend any more time talking about our failures. Instead, move into our best bets for UFC 316, Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. Now, obviously, I've already done a preview show, so you can kind of guess where I'm going with some of these, and some of the underdogs I might think would be in. But these are not just our picks, or everything we're betting. These are the 3 to 5 of our best bets, the ones that we're confident in. We're putting them out there. Minus 200 to plus 200 generally is what I'd like to say. So, Genie, you know how it goes. You're the guest. You get first say. Let's hear your first best bet.
So, my first best bet I'm going to the co-main event.
Okay.
So, Kayla Harrison, Juliana Pena. I'm liking.
No. What was that?
One
more time.
Juliana Pena.
Pena.
Like the pasta.
That's what we're gonna go with now.
Yeah, like the pasta. You know.
That's penne.
It's close enough.
All right.
Fuck. Shit.
I'm not editing this out, by the way.
Yeah, great.
Let's hear it. All right, Harrison. I have a feeling I know where you're going, but you spoil it for me.
I'm taking the under in this fight. Not the under 4.5. I'm taking the alternate under 3.5 because I think Kayla Harrison's good. Listen, you've seen the pictures, man. She's Hulk Hogan 2.0.
She's jacked.
She's got the 24-inch pythons. And she's coming to get you, man. Like, she's going to take Juliana Pena down and just absolutely ragdoll her. And I don't see much adversity from Juliana Pena. Maybe I'm discrediting her a bit too much. But I think Kayla Harrison's going to win in the first 2 rounds. And I'm taking the under 3.5, which gives us quite a bit of time. That's minus 135.
Minus 135. I'm saying for minus 125. So I'm going to give you the better number.
Cool.
On a different site than you were using. I like it. Under 3.5 for Harrison and Pena. You know that's going to be clicked. That kind of goes in with my. It wasn't my first best bet, but I'll move it around to align it. I have Harrison inside the distance, minus 175.
Ooh.
I was looking at submission. It's plus 130, 140 maybe. I don't love it. I think that she submits her because, I mean, let's look at it. Juliana Pena got submitted by Jermaine Durandamy, known submission artist. First submission ever. And then she also she didn't get kicked. There were some times where, Amanda Nunes in the second fight, and the first fight really, got a bunch of knockdowns, couldn't finish her, couldn't KO her, she didn't really try to submit her, so I'm not really, obviously we're thinking like a ground and pound here, but I'm just going and playing safe, inside the distance, minus 175, a little bit better of a number, or a little bit worse of a number than submission or KO, but what are you going to do? So, we're aligned, kind of. I think we're saying the same thing in those first 2 best bets, though. Let's see if we line up again. Let's hear your second.
So my second one, I'll take you down the card a bit to Azamat Murzakanov versus Brenson Ribeiro.
Okay.
This is a banger of a fight, I might say. Like these guys, these are going to be swinging, and
this is also one of my best bets is from this fight. So I'm curious if you have the same thing I do as well in this one.
Let's see. This is an interesting one. I would love to dump my bank account on Azamat Murzakanov by KO early on, but I'm kind of worried. He's at a 10-inch reach discrepancy. Anything's possible. I'm going to go for the under in this fight at under 1.5. I didn't actually write down the number of whatever the line is at.
Let me see. But, minus 160. You still good with that?
Yep, that's fine. I will take it because, listen, I could see both of these guys getting finished, even though Azamat is like on a roll and he's probably going to demolish Brenson Ribeiro anyways. A 10-inch reach discrepancy is definitely... It's enough to sway the fight the other way. And that's how Brenson Ribeiro usually is winning these striking battles. He has this funky reach over most of his opponents. So I'll take the under.
Let me read you. That is not what I'm going with. Let me read you some stats here. Azamat Murzakanov has had 4 fights in the UFC. Punches 318 in round 2. Decision, ground and pound win in round 3. Flying knee win in round 3. Okay. Ribeiro on the other side, 4 fights as well in the UFC. Kimura, early in round 2. Decision, round 1 KO. He lost from round 1 KO. There's a lot of over 1.5s there. And you're telling me Azamat Murzakanov, who I think is going to win as well, hasn't finished a fight in round 1 in the UFC. He went to round 3 against Devin Clark and Tefan Nchukwi. So I'm going with the over 1.5 here at plus 130. I think for two guys who have pretty much gone over in their UFC careers, I think it's a good number. I think Mirzakanov is going to have to struggle here. So give me the over. So we're warring here. Interesting.
Let's see how that goes.
I like it. I think historically I'm 2-0 in these where we've had opposite picks. Or it depends how you count the Cejudo one. Because my book voided it, but your book paid out Cejudo plus 5.5 against Song, didn't they? So
yes.
I guess so maybe we'll call it 0-1 or 1-0, no contest for me. So interesting. All right, let's see if we have any other conflicts or agreements. Let's hear your third best bet.
So my next one, I'll go to Joshua Van versus Bruno Silva.
Okay.
So Joshua Van's massive favorite, minus 700. This scares me slightly, but Joshua Van most likely is going to win this fight by decision. I think minus 105 is a much more pleasant number than minus 700. Bruno Silva, he's only been finished by KO twice ever. One of them is Manal Kopp, and it was in the third round, pretty late in the fight. And the other one was quite a while ago. It was a first round knockout, but I don't think that really speaks to how durable Bruno Silva usually is. Joshua Van, most of the time, like I love this dude. He's a really good fighter, but he usually loses the first round. He usually sets into the fight. He's like a Piotr Jan, you know?
Sure.
So
nice pronunciation, by the way.
There we go. I'm learning. I think Joshua Van's going to win this one by decision. I think minus 105 compared to minus 700. Like, you can't beat that. He could get a knockout, but I don't think like that would be definitely a value play compared to the decision. I think the decision's where you would put a bit more money on. It's definitely a bit more of a possibility I see.
Yeah, I like it. Especially he's been to a few decisions before. He only has one finish in the UFC, so good number compared to the. What did you say it was for him? Moneyline minus 600.
I had it on one of the platforms at minus 700.
700, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I like it. I did not have that fight in my best bets, so I can finally go to my first best bet. Give me Patchy Mix, moneyline minus 185. I know it's a little bit higher of a number than people usually bet straight, but I think you do it. This is a great fight for him in several ways. I mean, you look at his opponent, first off. You look at Mario Bautista, not a guy people like right now. He's lost a few times. He's lost twice. He got armbarred by Corey Sandhagen, and he was knocked out by Trevin Jones. I'd certainly value Patchy Mix a great deal higher than Trevin Jones. Probably not Sandhagen. I don't know. That would be a great fight. If Patchy Mix wins this, actually, him versus Corey Sandhagen would be really cool. But 65% of Patchy Mix, 20 wins by submission. Bautista, not the greatest grappler. He's a good grappler. That was his specialty early on. But, give me Patchy Mix money line. Kind of, I think all of the guys he's beaten recently, Koji Horiguchi, Magomed Magomedov, Sergio Pettis, they're all better than. Maybe not all of them. Most of them are better than Bautista. So yeah. I like Patchy Mix money line, and that might show up later too. So Jamie, I'm hoping you don't have Bautista, because that would be awkward. Let's kick it back to you.
No way I'm picking Bautista, man. Not this week. There's gonna be a couple of those. I haven't even done my prediction video, man. I'm so behind this week, man. I gotta get that done. Anyways.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I still haven't even got it done. Anyways, though, this is my fourth best bet, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Chaos Williams Andreas Gustafsson fight.
Ooh.
Chaos Williams is coming off of a pretty devastating loss to Gabriel Bonfim a few months ago. You know, all the pictures and memes that got posted after that one. You know, he was unfortunate for him. I will say, unfortunate for him. He's a pretty good fighter, though. Like, I mean, he's no chump in there. I don't think he's going to get ran over from Andreas Gustafsson. And even that, like, Andreas Gustafsson, he's not really a first-round finisher type. Like, he kind of takes his time, you know. From what I saw on Dana White Contender Series, he was in no hurry to get that finish. He was just holding Pat Pitalik the entire time. Commentary was going crazy about it. And then he kneed him in the face and got the finish. I'm taking the over 1.5. I think this fight's probably most likely a decision. Maybe a late finish. Either, like, I still don't really know who I'm picking in this one, but I see it going most of the fight at least. I don't see a first round finish either way. If Gustafsson's winning, it's going to be like control. And if Trevin Giles or Chaos Williams is winning this one, I don't see it being a first round finish either. I'm taking the over 1.5. What's the number? Minus 154.
I got 65 on my book, but I'll give you 154 since we like to be favorable.
It might have changed.
Yeah. You should, there's a good reminder to OddsShop. If you can find a better number on a different book, often that's worth it, you know? 15, 20 points is not nothing when you're betting the tens of dollars that we are. So, I like it. Williams Gustafsson over 1.5. So maybe maybe you're picking a. Yes, Williams doesn't win a ton. I guess a little bit by decision, but maybe you're picking a Andreas Gustafsson win there. Subconsciously, not officially. So I'll go to my fourth best bet. Yeah, let's go Walter Cortez Acosta plus 117. Give me Salsa Boy.
I wasn't good enough.
He made me a fan with his win over Ryan Spann and his win. He lost me as a fan. He had me as a fan, okay? And then he lost me. And then he won me again with Lucas Brzeski. Then he lost me with Andrei Arlovski and Rebels to Spain. And he won me again with Ryan Spann. So him and I have been doing this dance back and forth. You know, he's been dreaming about me. So he only has one loss. The loss is concerning. Don't get me wrong. Rogerio de Lima. He did get taken down 4 times? 3 times. Okay. And that being said, he has worked on his takedown defense. Ryan Spann went 0 for 2. Andrei Arlovski went 0 for 2 as well, I believe. Brzeski didn't shoot a takedown because he just got knocked out. So, I think he can stay on his feet long enough to not get taken down by Spivak. You look at Spivak's numbers, and it doesn't scream somebody who's going to not take down WCA. That being said, you know, I would argue that a lot of these takedowns he's getting are against guys who do not have the takedown defense of a WCA, maybe. For example, Augusto Sakai took down 6 times. Derek Lewis took down 6 times in 1 round. That's crazy. Greg Hardy, he took down 3 times in 1 round. So these are, you know, there's Jared Bandera 3 times, Carlos Felipe 3 times, Tai Tuivasa 6 times. These are like, it's stat heavy a little bit, you know? And so I think WCA can keep it on the feet long enough. I'm not saying he's going to win by a lot, but give me him at underdog money against Sergey Spivak, who I've never been super high on. So yeah, 4th best bet, Jamie. Let's round us out with the winner. You're going 5 for 5. What's the fifth play here?
This is
or
the
no,
five,
you're going 4 for
5.
5. You're going 4 for 5 because I'm going to win.
Oh, because I'm against you on the one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to go 5 for 5, and this is the final one here. We're gonna go to the Marco Medeiros and Mark Choinsky fight. Am I saying that one right? Mark Choinsky?
Chewinski? I think so. I haven't I never listened to his fights. I've only watched them with the commentary off.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, Choinski's coming in short notice. You know, what's this, a week's notice for him? A bit less, maybe. Markel Medeiros, he's had a couple of different opponents on a couple of different events here, but he's been training for the past few months at least now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more confident in him to win this fight than the other guy. You know, minus 205 is not... that's a playable number for sure. And for a guy that's had a full training camp against someone that's coming in on a week's notice from the regional scene, I do like it. Minus 205 for Marco Medeiros is going to be my final best bet.
All right. I do have to warn you that Mark Choinski was also training for a fight up at welterweight, though. So, granted, it's not on the level of Marco Medeiros, and it is a few weeks short, or it's a week and a half shorter. No, 1 week? Yeah, shorter notice and down a weight class, though. So, I don't dislike it. I do like the number. 205 is interesting for a guy making his debut. The Gustafsson number, I didn't quite want to take it because Cass Williams, I've never been good at predicting his career, but he is only a minus 185 to Andreas Gustafsson, and he's younger than him. I don't know. It feels a little weird for I'd call him a that at this point against a newcomer, but whatever you want to say. So I'll go with my fifth and final bet. In agreement with your last one, I have a two-leg parlay. I'm going Medeiros and Pfeiffer.
Okay.
You get that at minus 115. Now, this is a little awkward for reasons we'll discuss in a little bit, but I think Joe Pfeiffer is going to win. I think this is Kelvin Gastelum. Let's be honest. Joe Pfeiffer's probably going to win if he's any good at MMA. And I think Marco Medeiros probably can win. I think he's most likely going to win, even if it's a little bit ugly. I don't know how high I value Mark Choinski. He's very good, but I don't know. Minus 115. Throw those two together, call it a day. So those are our best bets. I'll recap real quick. I have Patchy Mix, Walter Cortez Acosta, Mirzakhanov Ribeiro over 1.5, Harrison inside the distance, and then Medeiros and Pfeiffer. Gina, you have Harrison Pena under 3.5, Mirzakhanov Ribeiro over under 1.5, Van Decision, Williams Gustafsson over 1.5, and Medeiros 205. Got there finally. So now it's time for the Sparring Sessions Parlay of the Week. 1 fight winning streak. Let's make it 2. Let's make it 2. Jeannie, I'll let you go first on this one as well. I'm gonna go first on the value plays. Who is your leg for the Sparring Sessions Parlay of the Week?
My leg of the Sparring Sessions Parlay is Markel Medeiros on minus 200.
Rewind the episode 3 minutes if you want to hear why. My leg is Patchy Mix at minus 185. Rewind the episode 10 minutes or something if you want to hear why. And Big Will is going with Joe Pfeiffer. Joe Pfeiffer as his leg. For many reasons, he's also he's met Joe Pfeiffer. I think they played Call of Duty together or something. So makes sense. And yeah, what's that get us to?
So Markel Medeiros plus Patchy Mix plus Joe Pfeiffer, we get plus 192 for a 3-leg parlay.
And that is your Sparring Sessions Parlay of the Week. It will be a little awkward if something loses here because I realized I have all 3 of those in my best bets. All 3 of those guys are my best bets for one way or the other. So let's hope they win. How about that? They're gonna win. What do we say? They're gonna win.
They will.
So let's jump to our value plays, our final segment where we kind of we look at some of the odds that were a little lower than, or I guess higher than we wanted to put in the best bets, or we wanted to mention them. There's value there. It's not a best bet for a reason, so there's a little more loose flowing. However, how many do you have for me this week, Jimmy?
I only have 2 value plays this week.
Only 2 value plays. All right. Well, yeah. I'll go first here. my first value play, I'm going. I'm gonna give you two. I'm going Howland Rute to end by submission at plus 375. These are two guys who do a lot of Darce chokes, and Vicente Luque, I feel, is going to try to wrestle because he doesn't like getting hit in the head anymore. And Kevin Holland will be there with the Darce or get taken down and choked out or something. And then also by submission, I have Ariane Lipski da Silva, or Ariane da Silva, however she wants to go, by submission at plus 950. That is how Wang Kong Wang, however you want to say, lost. Her only fight was by submission. Granted, it was a club and sub, but Lipski has a number of submissions on her record. She armbarred Casey O'Neill, Lana Carolina, knee-barred her, and then you go back to KSW, she got a number, she armbarred Dinah Belbicha too, so I think if she wins, let me put it this way, if she wins, I think it's going to be by submission, so plus 950 is a pretty good number. Jeannie, I'll let you give us both of your value plays. Let's hear it.
So I just want to do a little spiel for this first one. You know, Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland. You got two guys in here, 27-13 versus 23-10. Why in the world is any of these guys? I mean, why is Kevin Holland a minus 300 nearly? That I have an issue with that, man. I have an issue with that. I couldn't pull the trigger on this with my best bets, but Vicente Luque, what's his money line? Plus 220?
I think 245. I just saw him at two. Oh jeez, where is it? Yeah, 240.
Yeah. Well, I will never miss an opportunity to pick against Kevin Holland when I think he's going to lose. But I'm pretty good on Kevin Holland fights. I haven't got a Kevin Holland fight wrong since the Stephen Thompson one. So I've been pretty good on this guy's career. That's like 10 fights since then. I think he's going to lose this one. I don't know. I have a feeling. I think Vicente Luque's going to get him out of there. So plus 220 for that. That's going to be my first value play. And
okay.
My second one. We're gonna go to the main event. Gonna go to the main event. I see value in the underdog of Sean O'Malley. If anyone says this fight's a domination in the first one, they need to go and rewatch it with like clear eyes, man. It was a pretty close fight. It was nothing like Merab versus Piotr Jan. It was just the rounds Merab won were pretty dominant. But, you still got to score it round by round. O'Malley still could have won 2. Possibly, if you're like making a bad argument, there's like a bad argument for 3. But he could have won 2. I see plus 230 for Sean O'Malley, man. And I see a hungry Sean O'Malley that could win this fight. Call me crazy. But I'm taking that as my value play.
I'm going to call you crazy. I also... It's interesting you say that. I have gotten every Kevin Holland pick correct since the Stephen Thompson one myself. So that's pretty interesting. I'm picking Holland here. I'm not betting him. The number has gotten out of hand. I got him at minus 175 in a parlay 6 weeks ago. Granted, lost on the Zach Reese under 1.5, but you live and you learn. So yeah, I like those value plays then. Well, one of the value plays. Mine, I also think there's somebody on this card who's being incredibly undervalued. Yeah, I think Silva, I value him at like plus 200. I think plus 450 is a pretty good play here. So it's more of a value play for sure, but yeah, it can happen. And then I'm going with one I know you disagree with, Murzakanov by decision, plus 800. It's a huge number. Murzakanov does not have a ton of decisions. Granted, you look outside the UFC, the competition, you kind of expect people to be finishing guys outside the UFC. And I think Brenson Hibero, he lost by decision to Magomed Gazizulov. He has lost by decision before that. Yeah, M1. And then he went to a decision with Kyle Machado. So maybe Murzakanov comes in here with a game plan to strike. Hibero just tries to grapple him. Vice versa. Maybe Murzakanov wants to do the grappling and just kind of stalls for a bit. Yeah, I think Murzakanov can win this by decision. I think this might go to decision, as I've said before. So, yeah, give me plus 800 on the prop there to go the distance. 15 minutes is not that much. So that's it. Those are my value plays. Those are Jeannie's value plays. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, Jeannie. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for the wonderful clip. I'm going to process that very shortly. I've already spoiled it for our friends. Not exactly, but you'll see in a bit. And yeah, keep an eye out for something interesting coming soon. I'm going to try to get it together this week, if not next week. We're going to do a little something fun. Maybe, Jeannie, if your schedule can afford it, maybe you can be there. If not, we'll get somebody else. No biggie. But yeah, keep watching. Follow our plays, except for the one. Follow me instead of Jeannie. I give you an underdog when we're battling stuff.
Sean O'Malley.
See you next week.
If you are what you say you are, he's a superstar.
Maybe I do edit that out. All right, we'll see you later.